Hey, what's going on there, guys? It is Earthmaster once again. Been on here quite a bit, actually. A lot of activity over the past week or so, large-scale activity. Anyway, it is August 21st, almost September already. Holy moly! 10:36 p.m. here on the West Coast in California, and quite a bit of activity occurring on this beautiful planet of ours. But I don't think there's really much to worry about, because stuff is going to happen. It's just always good to be prepared in an event whenever something happens. It's always good to be prepared when it comes to earthquake activity, tornado activity, hurricane activity, for example in Hawaii. It's just always good to be prepared. I myself always carry a bunch. A couple cases of water in my car, and also I keep a couple cases of water, bottled water of course, here at the house, and canned food items, extra toilet paper, just basic stuff, that gas, gasoline for the car, generator, stuff like that. Always good to be prepared. I know it's hard for some that may not be able to prepare that much, but it's just even basic little stuff. Preparing ahead of time helps out those who may experience a catastrophe and whatnot. But anyway, taking a look at the earthquake activity real quick. I want to show you guys here on this map. Jump over here. This here is the USGS map, 30 days, magnitude 4.5 and above. Now if you look at it, I want to make sure everything's working. Again, I guess I need to trust my hotkeys, right? I'd hate to be sitting here talking and you guys not knowing what the heck I'm talking about, which happens quite often, right? No. Anyway, 30 days, guys, 4.5 and above. There is a lot of activity going on. Okay, 4.5 is not a big earthquake. It's a moderate earthquake, but maybe not even moderate, close to moderate. But there's still a lot of activity when it comes to that magnitude and above over this Earth. Quite a bit. Most of it occurring, of course, along the Pacific Plate and the Western Pacific Plate. At that, we had that 8.2 earthquake there near Fiji. I'm going to bring this down and let's go here. 30 days significant worldwide. Now this is what USGS calls significant. I'm guessing it's going to be about 6.0 and above. They got a 3.7 right there as a significant earthquake. Not for sure why that's mixed in there. That's in Greenpoint, California, but okay. So yes, roughly about 6.0, I'm guessing, and above, because I do see a 6.1 there. And of course you got all the bigger earthquakes there. But this is a lot of activity over the last 30 days here. Like I say, we were pretty much in a lull of activity as far as large-scale earthquake activity for an extended period of time, it seemed like, prior to the past 2 weeks or so. But now, I mean, quite a bit. Latest earthquake, the large one, 7.3 in Venezuela, at a depth of 132 kilometers. It's deep, but it's not super deep. Not as deep as that 8.2 that we've seen in the Fiji Islands region, where they had a massive amount of aftershocks down there, way down there, around 500-600 kilometers below the surface as well. So, but there's a lot. There is a lot of activity just within this region here in the Pacific Plate. California, not significant. I don't even know why they're stating 4.4 in Southern California and a 3.7 in Northern California. A significant earthquake, not for sure. But we haven't really seen any type of significant earthquake along the West Coast in quite some time. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen any type of adjustment due to all the movement that we've been seeing on the Pacific Plate. It's just it's absent right now, and not 100% sure why. Taking a look at the right here, real-time tremor data real quick. This here is the last 48 hours of tremor detection, which is the term for slow slip events along the Cascadia subduction zone. Most of it occurring in Northern California and also up there in the Seattle, Tacoma region there. Oregon's got a couple specks, but nothing big. I mean, we have seen this before in the past. Very cluttered and very interesting. But right now, pretty quiet on that scale, so to speak. The Yellowstone map is rather interesting. This here is a seismograph overview layout of the Yellowstone National Park area, which as far as earthquake activity in Yellowstone National Park, it's pretty quiet, folks. We do not have any swarming going on. We do not have any magma intrusion that so many people like to fearmonger about. There's no signs of a pending eruption. All this activity that you're seeing is from the 7.3 earthquake and also the 6.5 that occurred near west of the Fiji Islands region. Pretty impressive looking if you really look at it. That was definitely a good shaker there, 7.3, and then you can see that 6.5 right there, that signature. Once again, these are it's very sensitive equipment that seismologists use to pick up ground movement, and you know, earthquakes on the other side of the globe can be picked up quite easily, especially when it's a large magnitude earthquake. And that's what we're seeing right here on the seismographs here at Yellowstone National Park. No earthquake activity at all. I think maybe over here by Maple Creek I'm seeing a couple small spikes of an earthquake, micro type earthquakes right here, but that's it. Those are probably in the magnitude of 0.5 to 0.1, maybe even a little bit smaller than that. So pretty quiet. California and Nevada map real quick. Not too much activity going on. If you take a look at it, it's pretty quiet. Looks like any average day here in California. Just minimal earthquake activity, some slow or some small earthquakes there on the creeping section of the San Andreas Fault, right there where that blue square is. Other than that, pretty gosh darn quiet, folks. There is a little thing out there on Google that I like to use. It's a global plate tectonics. The movement maps is what these are. And these here explain where the plates are moving, in which direction, and you know, it gives you a general idea of plate tectonics. It's a very interesting subject. You know, we learned it in school to somewhat of a minimal degree. And it's a good topic to talk about, you know, especially if you're interested in earthquake activity and whatnot. Plate tectonics does not give anyone the right to predict earthquakes. They can't predict earthquakes. It's false. You can look at motion and movement of the plates, and you know, you don't know how hard the rock is below, how dense the rock is, you know, where the plates are, or how much pressure is built up. You just really can't honestly, you can't predict an earthquake, folks. I know a lot of people, I've been getting hammered with messages actually today, stating that someone predicted the 8.2 earthquake in Fiji, and it's false. Okay, it's almost like those fortune tellers. You know, you go in and get your fortune read. It's a money making scheme. That's all it is. Plate tectonics. Check it out, folks. After you watch this video, just type in Google search or Yahoo, whatever you use for your internet search browser, global plate tectonics movement map. That's and you're going to run across a bunch of different sites, but it's really cool to check out, and explains a little bit more in detail of how things work out there. I mean, the plates are moving consistently. Maybe not consistently, but they are moving at their own will, and they will continue to do so for millions of years, or no telling how long. But so anyway, far as earthquake activity goes, I did see something come in to the Alaska station there on the seismograph, but I am not seeing what I thought was maybe a larger earthquake up there. I'm seeing a 2.9 right now up there in the northern Alaska, but from what I've seen on the seismograph, it looked much bigger. So maybe they just haven't updated it yet. But either way, still a lot of activity occurring up there in northern Alaska, and that will continue to do so following that large earthquake they had there a while back. 4.6 up here off the Vancouver Island region. That's an older earthquake, and not really. I don't know, when did that happen? I'm not for sure exactly when. Let's see here. That was at about 10 kilometers below the surface there, that 4.6. 821, the UTC 13. So earlier today, way earlier today, when that earthquake occurred there. Got the 6.5 there. West of the Fiji Islands region, earthquake activity in the Fiji Islands region following that 8.2 has diminished quite a bit in this area where the original magnitude 8.2 struck. So that's a good thing, but it's also an area to watch as well, especially when it just completely quiets down like that. So it's possible to say we could see a lull in activity again, but I don't know how many more 6.0s and 7.0s the Earth can put out over the next couple days. It's been quite active, to say the least, over the last couple weeks. It's just blown me away as far as the amount of activity that's gone on. And here in California, we remain eerily quiet. I mean, it's just strange. Okay, it's very, very strange. Other than that, folks, not a whole lot more to report in the earthquake department. There is a hurricane. Yeah. There's a hurricane headed towards the Hawaii Islands region, and it's Category 5 right now. I believe winds of 160 miles an hour. Got a beautiful eye on it. I was going to show some graphs on here, but decided not to. But that hurricane will weaken a little bit, actually quite a bit, as it does make its way northwest towards the west side of the Hawaii Islands region. So it'd be horrible and devastating if that Category 5 hit directly there in the islands there, but it's definitely going to diminish quite a bit, and if anything should be a Category 1 or lower by the time it reaches the west part of Hawaii right there. So anyway, folks, I'm going to jump back over here, head back to the live stream there. Just wanted to do a quick update and a recap on our earthquake activity today. And big thanks to all the moderators for helping out, and a big welcome to all the new subscribers that have joined today for this channel, to this channel, I should say. And like I said, we provide factual data and information in regards to earthquake, volcanic activity, space weather. It's something I like to do, but I want to do it on a truthful type nature. I want to provide factual information and not guesstimates and false information to people out there. So try to use valuable sources when it comes to reporting the information, and that's what I will continue to do. So all right, folks, have a good night. I will be watching out here. I may jump in the chat and say hi for a little bit. So peace out, have a good night, and like I say, always have an earthquake plan out there. I know the mods have been posting a link to prepare yourself for what to do after an earthquake. But like I said, I mentioned in the first of the video, it's just always good to have basic necessities, you know, toilet paper, everything that you might use every day. Just simple stuff. All right, folks, have a good night, and we'll catch y'all a little bit later. Peace.